Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to another edition of How I See It. Now, in today's episode, I'm going to be going over Rick Ross's new drop, Idols Become Rivals. Now, this song is basically a pure and simple diss at Birdman. What they've done is they've started this video off in a church to where preacher is doing sermon, and at the very end of what he's saying is basically, let's go back to that. What he's saying is basically people, once they've made money, it kind of changes who they are. They're starting to now worship, gold versus life. In general, you get the gist of it, right? Whenever people make a lot of money, they kind of forgot where they come from, and idols become rivals. Now, with this being said, the whole time it's a great song. I love this song. I love Rick Ross because he's got a way with words. He always tells a story when he does it. This is the only song that I did not hear him say he's out on bond and maybe facing 8. Okay, but with that being said, not that he says it in all of them. I'm just being jokey, y'all. But he is, like poking at Birdman in this song, left and right on every little business deal that he's done. The rest of them in the game wrong. He points out DJ Khaled. He points out just, people that you would think, dang, for real? Like, you do see Birdman. He's flossing it up. He's got, look, ice is everywhere, dripping. And it's like, okay. Then he makes, like, a pun at him, like, until you find out your watch is, like, until I found out your watch was fake. And I thought, that's funny, because, a lot of people do wear some knockoffs. You see a lot of people with, how everybody that gets, like, I guess I want to say make it big, and if you guys Snapchat or Twitter and you notice everybody with that backpack and the bag, everybody in the game has a picture of the backpack and the bag after they act like they purchased it, but they don't really anyway. But what I'm saying is, when you get to a certain level, everybody flosses what they have, and they forget about where they come from. They forget about who rode with them, when the tires went flat, and just they forget who fed them or who helped feed them. You know what I mean, along the journey, because it does take a village to put your orders, put everything in order. So with this being said, it does. I'm hoping that it's not satire, because you know how the game is going. Everybody's poking fun at everybody, and it's like, really, guys? And you got Sheether, and you got Mask Off, or I just don't know, or Blast Off. I'm just saying, things like that is really, pushing for the dollar. You know what I mean? Everybody trying to secure the bag with a diss track. And it's like, wow, I didn't know it was like that. But I'm assuming that with all the interviews that Rick Ross has had about Birdman, and them asking him 50 questions about situations that he knows, that he's had his hand in, and I'm assuming he's keeping it 100. I hope he is. I know I'm going a little off track a little bit, but it makes sense, okay? I'm hoping that it's not satire, and it's not just for the bag, and it's actually real, because we do want to kind of dig into their head a little bit and be like, okay, I want to know what kind of artist you are. When you drop something, is it really about what you're going through? Or, although a lot of things are made up, it is what it is, okay? Look, I know. All in all, you have to hear the song. It's a great diss track. Of course, when you listen to it, like I said, he's talking to Birdman, because at the end he says stunner. Throughout the song, he calls him, every nickname that he is. And it's, like I said, y'all, to me, and I'm just going to go over this a couple times, but when you a rapper, they say you talk too much. When you a gangster, it's time to keep num-num. So... like I said, there's just like so many crossroads in the game nowadays that you just don't know what's real and what's kind of, somebody just kind of made a snowball and they were like, let's see how far we can roll this. I'm not really sure. All in all, I like diss tracks. It kind of brings out the creativity in the artist, and they get tired of talking about the streets and diced pineapples and everything else that is kind of given to him. Like, he's already talked, rapped basically about what he's got, the life he's living, things in his drink all the time, things in his papers. I'm just saying, it's nice to kind of hear him explain the root of the whole problem when it comes to Birdman. Although I'm hoping that, you know, nothing is ugly. Because we know that, you know, people gets nasty on the streets. You performing somewhere, the last thing you want is one of their people just come up on you. So that's what I'm saying. You know, yeah, I'm hoping it's satire and they're just having fun with it and like, hey, let's see how far you can push it. Let's see how far you can push it. You know, Remy Ma has stated that, you know, the business is pretty much 95% acting. So I'm hoping it's what it is, but also I hope that this is, you know, it'll continue a little bit. Maybe they'll, you know, Birdman will come with a diss track, and then, you know, Rick Ross gonna bounce back with another diss track. Hopefully they don't go beyond, you know, like Remy Ma and Nicki Minaj. I don't know, Lord have mercy. You can only make so many diss tracks about something before you run into them, and then people taking pictures to see what actually happens and how it plays out, you know, and then you busted. So all in all, I'd like to hear what you guys have to say about this video, because after all, I look forward to what you guys have to say. Please like this video, subscribe to this video, share this video with your friends, your mom and dad, because you know they like me. I'll see you in the next one, guys.